Hey everyone, it's Albie. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be going over some more in-depth reviews of the novellas that I read. On Wednesday, it should be, Wednesday hopefully, was a video on a more in-depth review of There Rose Such a Clatter and Other Tales from the Naughty List by Sam Costa. And for today's video, I'm hoping that it's, well, it will be, I'm making it, duh. It'll be on One Very Merry Night by Nicole Highlander. Nicole Highland. Maybe I should get the author's name right. You know, we're keeping it professional here. This was a 6-star read. I will say Nicole is a friend of mine, but when I'm a friend, I'm a little harsher. And so if I didn't like it, I just wouldn't talk about it. I wouldn't be like, I wouldn't even tell her I read the book. But y'all, I was like emotional about how much I love this book or this novella. I was like, oh my gosh, I have such a talented friend. I'm like, I'm literally was an emotional mess. I'm like, I'm so proud of her. And like I told her, I was like, you did such a good job. But I really did like the story. So she did have a leg up because the trope was second chance romance, which y'all know it's one of my favorites. I love a second chance romance. So in this one, we have Sienna and Brayden. Sienna is returning home to her small town after about 10 years away. She left kind of in a weird stance. She kind of got sidetracked from her sort of plans for life and broke up with her boyfriend and met this guy online that was older. He was like, oh, I can help you make it in Hollywood. So she leaves her small town. I believe it was in Indiana. And so she moved from Indiana to LA, like basically the summer after graduation, and she didn't return home since. And so it's 10 years later, and she sadly did not ever make it big in Hollywood, but she's coming home because there was a family tragedy. I will say there are trigger warnings for loss of significant other as well as loss of parent for content warnings. So she's returned home, and she decides to go to, excuse me, go to a bar and have just something, a glass to drink, you know, wine or whatever, to just sort of rewind, reset, and before she goes home. And while she's at the bar, she runs into Brayden, who is her ex high school sweetheart, her like the one that got away essentially. And the two of them meet, and they're like, he's like, do you want to come back to my place? And we talk, we go over some stuff. And she says yes, and they do talk, and there's a lot of emotions, there's a lot of tension, there is passion, and it was a really good story. I love second chance romances. I love when life derails plans, but it doesn't stop you from getting back on the road. Does that make sense? So even though the bridge is washed out, you can walk down the corner to get to the other side of your of your life. I like those sort of stories. I like knowing that you're not um, locked into something. You're not stuck with um, your life and how it's going. You can have a second chance. You can have a rekindling of relationship. You can get back with someone that you really did love. It's just my favorite. It's like you have like the idea of you getting locked into a marriage with someone, and maybe it's not always happy, I guess, but with a second chance romance, you can meet back later. You can have a divorce. You can have, you've moved to Thailand or something, and you're back from your trip to Thailand for 6 years or whatever, and the one that got away is still there, and you can have that chance again. I just love that. I just think it's so wonderful. It's my favorite. I think it really is my favorite trope. Probably since I read Persuasion by Jane Austen. In my opinion, Persuasion is the original second chance romance. If there's one before that, I like to know what it is because, you know, that book's like 300 years old. So I would assume Persuasion is the first second chance romance with Anne Elliot and what's his name, you know? Yeah. So like with novellas, I can't give away too much because I mean, it was 47 pages, so I can't have a 25-minute video in a 47-page book or story. I'm sure I could, but there wouldn't be much left for you to enjoy, and I want you to read the story as well. So yeah, I hope I didn't ramble too much. I love to ramble. Y'all know I'm surprised I have 105 subscribers. Tomorrow I have 102, you know. I'll just go with it. But anyway, I hope y'all have had a wonderful day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment, and I'll see y'all soon for another video. Bye, everyone.